What's that cabinet underneath your bathroom sink look like? If it's anything like mine, you've got bottles and expired medicine and old lipstick and some gross and messy stuff. Wait too long to deal with it, and it just gets worse and worse, and stuff gets piled on top, and it gets grosser and it gets messier. And then what do you want to do with it? You just kind of want to chuck the whole thing in the trash and start over. I'm Erin Michelle, the Song Guru, and I'm here to help you if your song ideas are starting to look like the underneath of your bathroom sink. When I talk about song ideas, I talk about my rock collection, and I think of my rock collection as all my little song ideas that I've saved and organized so that I can take them out and play with them later on when I have time to write a song. So, a lot of songwriters don't have a great system to organize their ideas, and that's when the bathroom sink situation starts to happen. So, our lesson today is organizing your rock collection in a way that allows you to save all your ideas, remember where they're at, and then use them when you want to use them. But why do you need to organize your song ideas? Because if you're living life as a songwriter, you need to be a good steward of your inspiration. If you can't find your song ideas when you have time to co-write with someone or you have an extra hour to work on a song, you can't do it if you can't find your ideas. I'm going to go through my system that I use today to organize and save my rock collection of song ideas. But I want to say up front, there's no one system that's the right way to do it. This is just how I do it, and maybe it'll give you some helpful ideas. There's really only two things that your system needs to have: organization that works for you, and it needs to be lossless. Number one, you need to be organized. For years as a songwriter, I had some lyric ideas in a paper journal, and then I had other song charts on my computer just saved in a Word doc, and then I had hundreds and hundreds of unlabeled voice memos on my phone. I actually had a separate tape recorder with other song ideas, and it was just all a mess. They weren't all in one place. And so when I was trying to, oh, that lyric I wrote, where did I write it down? Is it my voice memos? Is it in my notebook? I have no idea. So you got to be organized. And the second thing you need to be is lossless. It breaks my heart when my songwriter friends tell me that they have lost hundreds and hundreds of their melody ideas because they lost all their voice memos in an iPhone update. And this happens all the time. You have got to have a backup system. You can lose paper journals, voice memos can be deleted. You've got to find some way to back up your ideas that's lossless. I'm going to show you how I do that step by step. My process normally starts with my daily morning journaling. I object write, I scroll through news articles, I write about whatever's on my mind, usually for about 10 to 20 minutes. After I've done my journaling, I process that journaling and see if there's anything I want to save. Usually there is, because when you invite inspiration, inspiration tends to arrive. And so if there's anything in my journaling that I want to save, I immediately open a Google Doc and put any text into that Google Doc, and I give it a title. I prefer to use Google Doc and Google Drive because it's really easy to use with your phone. I can create a Google Doc on my phone. I can save it in a folder in Google Drive on my phone. And you'll see in a second that will also attach to voice memos. So I process any lyric ideas that I have from my journaling in a doc, and then I make sure to give that doc a title that will help me to remember what was going on. Then I engage with the doc, and if there's anything melodically that is inspired by those words, I create a voice memo. A lot of times I'll do this at the same time. I'll be journaling, I'll be writing, I'll have a voice memo just going and open on my phone so that if I write words that sing to me, I can sing it while I write it at the same time. At the end of the journaling session, I have the doc with a name, and then I save that voice memo and give it the same name that I gave the doc. This is a really important step because so many songwriters use voice memos to organize their melody ideas, which is great, but then they don't title their voice memos. How are you ever going to remember that brilliant idea you have if the name of that voice memo is Recording 236? So I make sure the doc and the voice memo have the same name, and then immediately, right then, before I leave my journaling time, I move the voice memo and the doc into a Google Drive folder that I have named Song Projects. And in my song projects folder, I have loads and loads and loads of voice memos and docs that have started for potential song ideas. So when I have time to write a song outside of my morning journaling time, I can open up my song projects folder and see what voice memos and docs do I have, and they're labeled so I kind of remember what those ideas are about. And if something is really sparking my interest for that day, I'll pull up the voice memo, listen to it, open up the doc, and then I have a song idea to get started. I usually take that doc that I started and it eventually becomes my chord chart. And then in the end, when I've written the whole song, I'll take another voice memo of the whole song from start to finish, and that will be my work tape. And now all those pieces are together in my song projects folder. But if I get to the point where I have a chord chart, initial voice memo, and a work tape voice memo, I will cluster all those things together and call that a song. Say I started a journaling that was called Mustard Seed, and I took a voice memo and I called that Mustard Seed, moved it into my song projects. When I start working on that song, building out the chord chart, I'll record another voice memo and I'll call that Mustard Seed Work Tape, and then I'll take all those mustard seed things together and make a new folder called Mustard Seed within Song Projects. Songuru, this seems like a lot of work. Yes, it is a lot of work, but let me tell you, if you get into the habit of organizing, naming, saving your rock collection, you will never run out of ideas. And then when you go to co-writes and people ask you, hey, do you have any song starts? You can be like, yeah, actually I do. I have a folder of about 1 million song ideas. And it's super easy to share these song ideas with your co-writers, with producers, with other people, because they're all organized and labeled and you're on top of it. All right, let's get super practical. Our playtime activity today is going to help you take the first steps in organizing your rock collection, because we don't want bathroom, sink, cabinet organization, but it's really overwhelming, right? You might not be able to jump into a new system all at once. So I'm going to ask you to take one little step today. Your playtime activity is taking a real look at your voice memos. Go through your voice memos of song ideas, and if you don't have them labeled, let's make labels. Well, how do you label a voice memo if you don't know what the title of the song is going to be? That's okay. Take the first lyric that you sang, or you could describe it. This song is kind of like a Taylor Swift rock positive vibe. You can use any words that help you remember what the voice memo is. You just need to title it something. If that playtime activity doesn't work for you because you're pretty good about titling all your voice memos, the next step is voice memo organization and backups. If you don't have a place your voice memos are backed up on the cloud, maybe consider using Google Drive or creating a folder elsewhere where you can not only save those voice memos, but organize them. Part of my organizational process is these songs seem like they might be pop songs. These songs I might put on a folk project, or these songs are great ideas for co-writes. So wherever you're at with your voice memos, see if you can go to another level of organization, or simply do a cleanup. Maybe listen through those voice memos you haven't listened to a long time and decide which ones to save or which ones are ideas you've already used so you can delete them. So for playtime, clean house on those voice memos, and then give yourself a little treat. Take one of those voice memos you had forgotten about and turn it into a song. Have fun. So I know that might seem like a lot, and I know I'm type A, so that level of organization might not work for you. But whatever you decide to do, please don't waste your ideas by refusing to label them, save them, organize them in a way that works for you, because I don't want you to be without inspiration. You're building a rock collection that's uniquely your own. No one has your same set of life skills and story and experiences and your view on the world. Your rock collection is precious. Please manage it well. So if you want to keep writing songs about your life, the things you love, or mustard seeds, I can help you with that. I'm Aryn Michelle, the Song Guru, and I'll see you next time. The Song Guru.